Rusty here. I'm going to show you how to make one of my signature barbecue sauces. This isn't the one with any of my secret ingredients in it, so I can show you this. 1.5 liters of ketchup. Makes life very simple. It's a good base. It's got just enough vinegar in it. You can get the vinegar-free stuff. Gives you a really strong tomato taste. Gotta try and get it all out. It sounds kind of disgusting and gross. Typical ketchup bottle likes to fart. Alrighty. Now, what you do is 1.5 liters of water, so it's a same amount. Take it over to your sink, you fill it.
You trying to say equal mix?
Yes, it's an equal mix. Now to get the last of the ketchup out of the bottle, you want to throw your lid back onto it. And it's not fun watching my fat flap back and forth, is it? But hey, the joys of cooking means you put on some extra weight. So I'm only adding just over half for now, because I have other stuff that I need to add to it. You want to mix it up. Now remember, you don't want your sauce too watery. It all depends on what ketchup you use. This one I picked up at the grocery store. It was a 2-pack. And it actually seems a little watery, so I may not add any more water to it. But you never know once it starts boiling down. Set your stove on to medium-high, or a little bit higher. And that's just about the right consistency. I might add a little bit of water to that. Okay, so due to copyright, I can't show you what brand that is, but you can use just about any brand. Put that back there. A half a cup fancy molasses or blackstrap. Doesn't matter which one. Blackstrap is a little bit stronger of a molasses. We didn't want an overly strong flavor on this sauce. We just want a nice, sweet, sticky sauce, as per requested. Alright, so you scrape out as much as you can, try and get that nice and clean. Put that into the sink.
Yeah, for the wife to wash later.
For the wife to wash later. Alright, so that's in there. We'll probably add about another 1/4 cup of molasses later, depending on the flavor. But we're also adding sweet soya sauce. For those of you that have never used it, basically it's a thickened soya sauce that's been thickened with cane sugar. It's almost the same consistency as the molasses. Again, get your little rubber scraper in there and clean it out. Get as much of it as you can.
It's a spatula.
Whatever. She's got to get technical. Now with just those 2 ingredients, you're going to see that that does not look like ketchup anymore. Now it's starting to look like a barbecue sauce. Now, everybody knows what this Worcester sauce is. You can tell by the colors on the label. I'm not allowed to say the name. But everybody needs a couple of good drips. 4 or 5 good dashes of it. A couple of more. Do it to your flavoring like. Stupid thing didn't want to close. That's going to enhance the flavor as well as darken it up a little bit more. Now remember, you're also going to be adding some regular soy sauce to it after a little bit. Now your liquid smoke. I don't know where the wife is hiding all the measuring spoons.
Top drawer.
There they are there. Hold on, I gotta find one here. What have I got here? I've got... These are all in milligrams because my wife is kind of
Your wife is kind of what?
crazy.
Really?
She's a wild and crazy kind of girl.
The big one's a tablespoon.
I should have had those out beforehand. Oops. Let's rinse that off. Just because it looks like it had something spilled on it. Because that's where I make my coffee. Okay, so that's a tablespoon. So what's that one? It's not even a half.
Purple's tablespoon, green's teaspoon.
Alright, so because this is going to be a sweet, sticky, and smoky barbecue sauce, I have here liquid smoke. It's got a really nice smoky smell to it, and you get a nice smoky flavor out of it.
That one's hickory.
This one's hickory, yes. Mostly find hickory. You can't, it's hard to find any other, but for a sauce, hickory is the best. So, I'm going to be here all day trying to do that. So we'll just pop the little plastic cap off so I can just pour it. So, 1 teaspoon and a half. Should be enough. You can always add some later if you want it a little bit more smoky. My spoon fell in.
Bottom drawer.
I didn't think my spoon would fall in. Isn't that pretty? Oh my goodness. Well, let's just bring her over to the sink and rinse her off. At least rinse the handle off. What is that? It'll teach me to do that, won't it?
Yeah, you might not want to leave that in there again.
No, I'm not going to. Okay, so while this has to simmer, you're going to add some spices to it. Let me... Good old popcorn bowls, great for spoon rests. I can really smell that liquid smoke, so I'm going to put the cap back onto it.
No kidding.
So, again, bay leaves.
Stop holding it out here. It's not in the shot.
Well, get it in the shot. Dang it. Bay leaves. For a pot this size, you want 2 nice size bay leaves. 1. See if I can get another good one.
I'm sure they're not morons and they
2.
know how to count.
I never said they were morons. I would never insinuate such a thing. Garlic salt, you're going to add about a teaspoon. Doesn't have to be perfect, just enough to get it in there and get the flavor. Italian seasoning, about 3 or 4 sprinkles out of your jar. Because it doesn't take a whole lot for this to season. Thyme, you're going to add about a pinch. Unlike these fancy TV shows, I don't have doubles and triples of all my utensils, so I have to rinse them. This is supposed to be minced garlic, but it's pureed. Minced is where it's in nice pieces. That's a puree. So what you want to add, you want to get as level of a teaspoon as you can, because garlic is pretty strong. Add that in. And that's a half a teaspoon.
Pink one? Should be.
Okay. Keen's mustard. Strike that, not allowed to say that.
Any spicy mustard will do.
Any spicy mustard will do. Half a teaspoon. You're going to taste it, but not burn your face off.
Unless you want it spicy, then you can add more.
Exactly. Or you can add your favorite chilies or whatever else to it. So this is ready to be left. To simmer. Now this is going to simmer for about an hour. I didn't even put all the spices into it yet, just because I want what I have in here to simmer, so I can give it a little preliminary taste and see how it's doing. See if I need to add more moisture to it. Now, the mustard doesn't necessarily mix well, so when it doesn't mix well, a whisk.
Yeah, next time have it out so shot of your bald head isn't coming right into the middle of it.
Oh, you leave my bald head out of this. Bald is beautiful. So you just whisk it in so that it mixes nicely. And while you're letting that simmer for a little bit, you can get your other spices ready. Now you're going to notice that I've used a lot of these spices in my brine as well. This just enhances the flavor of the meat so that it's not going to be overly dull in the meat for the spices. Okay, so we've got basil.
Hold. Okay.
Oregano, and parsley. A lot of people think parsley is strictly a garnish, but it is not. When you're cooking with it, it will give you a nice, subtle, earthy flavor. And of course, the ever-loving bay seasoning.
Okay. Whew.
All right. This has been simmering. I turned it down to low after about a half an hour. So it's been simmering. I've tasted it. Found it's not sweet, as sweet or as smoky as I would like. So another half cup of molasses. Never hurts. Your dentist will love you. Let's get that all in there without flicking any at me or on the walls. Mix it in there nicely. And I'm going to add another teaspoon of liquid smoke. Oop, I went a little bit over. It can never be smoky enough for me. What about you? You like it smoky? Oh, you can really smell that liquid smoke. That barbecue sauce is smelling really good. Now, you might find that it'll be a little loose and liquidy. Remember, as it cools, it will thicken up. My camera person, aka my wife, is not really keeping the camera steady. Now she's going to kick my butt. And this
You can always play with this yourself, thank you.
is just about done. It's got a nice dark color to it. But another 15 minutes to a half hour of simmering, just to let those sugars and the smoke cook into it. And then you can throw it into a container. I'm jarring it because I'm taking a jar with me to put on the ribs. And I'm giving my daughter a jar of it.
You didn't add the other spices yet.
Oh, that's right too. I did not add all the spices. Oh, Jesus. Look at that. I'm lacking. It's a good thing I keep her around, isn't it? Or she keeps me around. One of the other.
I think it's a bit of both.
It's a bit of both. Okay, so your oregano. Just take and put about a half a teaspoon into your hand. Throw it in. Same goes for your basil. Maybe just a little bit more than a half a teaspoon, about 3/4. Just because it gives it a nice rich flavor. Open the right side on the parsley. And the parsley, as I showed you in another video, this is nice and green, which means it's nice and fresh. Give it a nice flavor. Your Old Bay seasoning, which I'm not supposed to mention product name, but what the heck. Let's give that a quick rinse. And this is why I wear aprons, to make good tea towels. You want to throw a teaspoon of it in. The Bay
That's just
seasoning,
sad.
you don't want to, never mind your sadness. You don't want to add a lot because it is a very strong spice. And you just mix it in nicely. Once you've got the rest of those in, take your spoon and just fold it in. What I mean by fold in is you're basically taking the barbecue sauce and folding it over top of your spices. And no, not everybody knows that.
I didn't say a word.
You didn't have to. It was the look you gave me behind that camera.
Yeah, well.
Now I know some of these videos have been kind of dark. It's because I've been doing it at night. Hopefully we'll be able to start doing it during the day. And we'll have a better camera eventually. This one here is being recorded on a tablet, but it does the job. Okay, so that's going to simmer for another 15 minutes to a half an hour. Then it's going to cool, and I'm going to jar it. That should give me approximately between 4 to 6 jars of the, I don't even know what size they are. They're basic jam jars. I'm stepping off camera for a second. 500 milliliter jars. Now, I just get these at the local dollar store. They've got the snap tight lids, so the heat will make it pop, and it's got the screw lid, so it makes it easier. Instead of messing with the outer ring and then having to pop the lid off, that just makes it a little easier. Kind of like your typical jam jar from your favorite jam company. This is Rusty saying enjoy your meal and have yourself a good day.